this is to gain competitive advantages to attract and retain more customers, and have fun and do. Oh, are we sticking to one again?
Yeah. You can pick. I think we were going to pick with one that looks like highlighted was passion for the month.
Passion. Yeah, I love a bit of passion.
Mm.
It gets you very far. If you have passion about something, you enjoy it a bit more.
Do you reckon you could be too passionate?
No.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
I was just wondering.
Yes.
Could be a question, yes?
I reckon yes.
Yeah. Because I think I can't remember who I had the conversation with, but I have it with quite a few people. But don't you think that sometimes too much passion? Well, actually, I'll ask others. So why do you think you could be too passionate? Em and Hannah, I think, both said that.
I think if you can be, you can't be too passionate, but maybe it's how you portray you're passionate.
Yeah,
I'm not wording it properly, but how you portray people to others. Like if it's too full on, people will be a bit like,
yeah, whoa,
it's a bit much.
Or like if you're so passionate that you're either self-sabotaging or sabotaging someone else, then you might need to rein it in. Yeah. Just because you're so blinded by passion.
Yeah, I feel like I have to do a little bit of that with the social media marketing at times, just not to go, as you said, because it can just feel a bit too, as someone suggested, it can seem too forceful. That makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, good conversation. But in the terms that we're talking about, I mean, it's probably not just passion for what we do. It's just passion, full stop, right? What we bring to the position. I guess on the flip side of that, Ben, what's your sense? You can't be too passionate.
I don't think you can be too passionate. Like in a sense that if as long as you're becoming obsessive, like, because then it's like if you're it then changes from passion to obsessive.
That's a good point.
To the point where like nothing else matters. Then it's no longer passion.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I don't think you can be too passionate. I think you can go overboard to the point where you're now obsessive over something, to the point where nothing else matters.
Okay, that's a fair.
Actually, I seem to remember something along those lines in the sports marketing. When they talk about fandom, in terms of people supporting their team.
Oh God, there's a word and I can't remember the word for it right now. It's going to piss me right off.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of steps in terms of where you get that when all of a sudden they become the face painting member of the cheer squad. Their entire life just revolves around it, right? So in actual fact, as you said, whatever the term is, that's
crazy.
That obsession does take over the passion, as you said.
Fanatical?
Yeah, well, a fanatic, probably, true.
Fanatic, where you're probably just, nothing, where you're completely tunnel visioned and nothing else matters.
Like for social media, Steve, like obsessed would be every minute of the day sitting and doing like social media and not doing anything else.
Yeah, it's not having, and that's
like
where
obsessed.
And that's where I guess in the terms that we're using, even from a values, we're using that from a holistic perspective, right? It's about being passionate as much for life probably as it is for social media marketing, for whatever team you're barrack for. It's just bringing a passion probably to it. But I agree, yeah. In fact, it would be unhealthy, as Ben said, when it moves from passion to obsession on anything, right? Generally speaking. Has everybody seen Rocket Man, by the way? You watched that? Did I talk about that?
No.
I have seen it though.
I know I was meant to add it to my...
I just reminded a little bit from, particularly at his peak, he was saying how it's on Netflix, but without a little bit of a spoiler of it. So it's sort of told from the story where it starts with him walking in into Alcoholics Anonymous, right? So, but he was sort of saying, I'm an alcoholic and a coke addict and a shopaholic and a sexaholic. Anyway, but at the end of the movie, it does actually say, he's been sober for 26 years or something or other.
Yeah.
But then I think it says, except he still shops too much, something along those lines, right? So, he has a passion for quite a number of things.
So the long and short tail we attract, and long and short tail. We protect, differentiate, be top of mind, increase opportunities, explore their interest, and inquire.
So that people will, and you started off right though, so that they will, it'll attract and retain people, more customers is the intent.
Yep. We offer our services as products and on our website. Everything is on there. We don't do smoke and mirrors, and we're very open about what we do and how we do it.
I'm finding a lot of new people that are coming to us have often been, if not burnt, certainly have come on the basis that they are hearing the smoke and mirrors. And I think it's one thing to be really clear of for us is that whilst we're digital marketers or digital marketing communicators, we're also marketers, right? And I think in a few times last week, just talking with different people, digital marketing is just one form of marketing communication. So as marketers, we know that, right? But they've kind of hijacked the term to a degree in the business world, right? If you become a digital marketer, realistically, it's a specialist skill, right?
It was me and you that was talking about it, because I said that the term digital marketer now means that you've got to be a photographer and a videographer and a graphic designer and a copywriter and an editor and a web designer and a web programmer. Like it just doesn't stop. You look at any digital marketing job application, entry level, they require you to have 5 to 7 different disciplines in you.
Yeah. And so isn't it funny? Isn't it funny too? Is because often now marketing actually might not be one of them. So that's the other thing is so it's worth us sort of having those sort of conversations at times with particularly when we're having one-to-ones and that sort of stuff, and just educating, like you said, Ben, is just understanding that the people you're working with, you're doing particular parts. There are other people that do other particular parts, so it's almost that specializations. I think the specializations, there is still some potential issues that Anthony and I are finding, for instance, with your property investing at the moment, because people have this expectation that if you're using a digital marketing, then it will be very transactional potentially, if that's what your expectation is in terms of getting people to go from the ad to the call to action button and just sign up or get the booking appointment, whatever it is. And so I was saying to Adrian when we met on our one-to-one earlier, so Anthony, I'm not sure if you're coming, but Anthony and I are aware there's a lady this week running a webinar. Her name is Lauren Bartley, and she's from Impactivate. It's at 10 o'clock Melbourne time on Friday. I can send you the details if you like, but she's pretty much an Infusionsoft specialist. And so Infusionsoft is a little bit like HubSpot and others, where it basically it's a CRM system as well as marketing and sales, right? So it builds in the connectivity, if you like. So if you're running your email campaign and it then sort of can plug in more or less to your Facebook and Instagram, you run the same sort of campaign there. But then the likelihood, and this is my understanding based on more HubSpot than Infusionsoft, but they kind of work similar, is my understanding, is that then the tracking becomes a lot easier, right? So you kind of know if it's all coming out of the one program, then to track whether they've clicked on the button you want to click on the website or the landing page becomes a lot easier because it's connected to the ad campaign, it's connected to the email marketing piece, right? Anyway, it's something that when you sort of in a business for a while, you start to get to the point, there is a problem with our business that sometimes is probably even to your point, Ben, right, is that we don't look after your website, right? We're not web experts or web and design developer, we don't do coding. And so ultimately, but we have to have enough knowledge of it to know when it's not working in the way that we want it to work it from a social media marketing and Facebook ads perspective. And so that's why I'm sort of going along this week to that, is because I want to sort of better understand where certain things might be breaking down for us. Does that make sense? So does that have any interest for you guys as well? Because I think you're going to get similar. You're going to get similar barriers, right? I don't know if you've experienced already anything along those lines, right? Where has anybody had that sort of sense?
Literally on Friday. You know, I went to that networking event Friday night. Yeah. I had around 2 or 3 inquiries, and all of them, every single one of them, were all like, "Oh, so 1, how many leads can you generate me?" And I was like, "Right." Next one was, "How do you measure our results?" And the one after was like, "Okay, cool. How many thousands of dollars do I have to pour into social media for me to get some sort of results?" Yeah. So they were the 3 ones. Yeah.
And so, how did you go about answering them?
The leads one was a case of explaining the standard thing which we always explain, which is we're not a leads generating company. If you want that, go to a sales company. But like, we're a relationship first building company. And the next one was, if we've got a way to measure how many people are actually going through to your website, and if people aren't clicking through in your website, then there's either something wrong with your products or services, or there's something wrong with the website, because we've done everything we can to actually make sure that you're being visible. And the third one was, "Oh yeah, you only need to spend $5 a day." I held up my hand like this and went, and like, she was like, "Oh, $5,000. I was like, "No, $5. Like, $5. All you need to spend every day." And she was like, "Oh, that's cheap." I was like, yes, it is cheap. So that's how I went about it on Friday. And I CC'd you in a couple of emails.
I saw that come through, which is good. And as you said, it's probably the best answer is it depends, right? So with just about all of our clients, it depends on so many different things, because what's your business? What's the client journey to buy whatever you're selling, that sort of thing. So
what was interesting was the fact that the person who came up to me, she goes, "Oh, so like, I'm trying to convince my client to spend money into Facebook." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, where have they spent money before?" And she goes, "Oh, they spent thousands of dollars." I was like, "Oh, okay, sweet. In Pinterest."
Okay.
I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Is it a visually appealing business? Because that's the only reason why you should be using Pinterest. If you've got a very visually appealing business, or you've got inspirational ideas." And I think it's baby clothing.
Yeah.
Oh no, that makes sense.
Yeah, bathing
that
clothing,
would sort of go well on there, I think.
Jewelry's another one, which is probably
jewelry, graphic design, interior design, clothing ideas to some extent, paper, but like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, no.
And apparently they didn't get one sale off of it.
I would have thought that the only reason you'd spend a lot on it if you were already getting sales of it in the first place. That's because that would be the pointer, you would think. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking, but apparently not. And apparently they don't want to put money into Facebook, but they're quite happy to put it into Pinterest.
Are you finding there's a lot of stuff out there though? I'd love $1 for every time someone says to me, "But I was told this," and I'm like, "Okay, who told you that? Where did you hear that? Why?" Because often it could even be, maybe it's someone, as you went to a presentation, Ben, and you said it was just a pitch, right? So sometimes you sort of hear things, and you we do have to, I think what we all are pretty good at able to do is just go, okay, well, we want to check the facts around that, you know what I mean? Or it's in our experience, in our experience, we find that you can get benefits here, here, and here by doing this, this, and this. But it is interesting. Anyway, I'm not sure what led us to that, but I'm happy for it. Do you want to just 60 seconds?
All right, this is our Dify Social strategic model, and as you can see, it shows where social media sits in the house, right at the top there. We want to help businesses communicate and promote to people that they know and prospective customers. We do this by utilizing the things underneath, the copy and the design, particularly the words and images through our posts. With social media, we need the business to have a good website. That needs solid foundations, which will help a lot to help you succeed. We take a look at your LinkedIn accounts, make sure you're all-star. If not, we'll help you get there. We also take a look at your business across the 6 main channels. We can make sure your business is looking better through the competitors, ensure you have the ability to reach out to potential customers. In this middle section, we aim to send people to your website, like I just said, and from the social media channels by repurposing the information on your website, which we use to create social media content. And we make sure that your website's easy for the lazy readers, and to make sure that your business is easily contactable. We set you up on Google, YouTube, the 2 main search engines, and LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And the top right, we know that less than 50% of small businesses are on social media, and of that, only 35% use any type of advertising. With 90% of Australians on social media and people using it more than ever, it can be a valuable asset. And along with this, Facebook advertising has the ability to reach up to 10K people with $5 a day advertising. And
well, in actual fact, we know that's actually not even accurate, right? We got clients now that, and you could say that when you talk about that. You've got clients. I think everybody's got clients now that they're getting 30 to 40,000 in a month, right?
Yeah.
With a $5 a day spend.
Yeah, and then the last one, just we give return on investment, and all our pricing is on our website.
Yeah, and that return on investment, we probably often is probably the most, as per our just discussion then, that's what everybody wants to know, right? And that's what I think, and what we're all sort of moving to, is that return on investment and what that looks like. And I think we're getting better. I certainly feel like I'm getting better at explaining what return on investment looks like. And it's not necessarily the till chinging, right? Because we can't easily measure that, right? So return on investment looks like how many people are going through your website, how many people are seeing your social media posts across the 4 main channels, right? So I think increasingly how many people are engaging, what their ad recall is, all those stats that we're putting in those reports, that's the stuff that we can verbalize when people ask us that question. As I said, I'm starting to think when people ask me, can you, because I get it all the time, how do you guarantee I'm going to get a return? I said, well, that depends. How can I guarantee it? What I can guarantee is what most of other reports are telling us, right? Visibility, recall, visits to website. Would you agree that we can't guarantee much more than what we know we deliver?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we certainly can't guarantee, and we also talk about the short tail and the long tail, right? So short tail is that we know using advertising, you're going to get fairly high visibility fairly quickly in terms of engagement and the other stuff. So yeah, I reckon we can all, I certainly found, I don't know what you thought, Anthony, others asked about the presentation. I feel better when I focus more on return on investment in my presentation. Yeah, so I don't know how long I spent on this part. I probably only spent 60 seconds myself, right? Would that be about right?
Yeah. I liked it too. It was actually probably more engaging. It was a lot interesting.
I think when people start to see the numbers, when they go, and that's what all we can ask is, what would it mean to your business with the numbers that we know that we can probably, realistically, we can guarantee you numbers. It's just probably not the numbers you're expecting us to guarantee for you. Would that be fair to say?
Mm.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some times where we're going to tell you stuff that you might not want to do. We want you to invite people to your LinkedIn company. We want you to engage with your posts, right? So some of that sort of stuff, I think Ben said too, we are coaches still, right? Even though we do it for you, there's elements which we coach for you to get the best result yourself as well. That makes sense?
Mm. Yeah.
Adrian, you know that, right? Don't, I mean, it's great because Adrian had a, really, and maybe just talk about the 2 clients you brought on last week, Adrian, because you couldn't get 2 different types of clients, right?
Yeah,
very different clients
on the opposite ends of the scale, really.
Yeah.
The setup with Dylan and for the Good Gravy Media was really easy. Compared to the other guys, they didn't have passwords for anything, and they are talking a lot about leads and stuff as well, and they have had sort of bad experience with I guess their marketers that they've had in the past doing their social media, which is kind of strange because half of their channels weren't set up, and they didn't even have access to any of them. So it's kind of strange how I guess it makes sense why they didn't have sort of a good relationship with them in the past.
And so often it's how people have been educated, right? So Dylan has been educated. He's in that world anyway. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I'd say so. He really does understand it. So when talking to him about what it is we do, he really does understand. So it's a lot easier to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't undermine your specialized knowledge, right? So you're still there able to show him, how to set things up properly and create the saved audiences and the types of scheduled posts that we run, right? So I'm pretty sure he got a kick out of all that, right? In terms of understanding that, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. He also found it very helpful that we actually put in the time, because the thing with him, he didn't have the time to sort of go through everything. And some of the stuff that we did update hasn't been updated in a long time. So,
Whereas on the other hand, you've got, and Emily has this as well, she has the sort of 2 type of clients. So on the one hand, you're working with someone collaboratively, I think is probably a way to say it, where they kind of get what you're going to do and they get that they probably need to do some stuff to continue to make it work. And then we've got probably a Lim Live Emily in a way, and certainly Buzz Me for you, Anthony, where everything, right? So realistically, they just expect, there's an expectation that they don't really want to have to look at it, touch it, do anything with it, because you're doing it. You're just doing it, aren't you? You know what I mean? So, so there's no sort of real collaboration in there. There's just you tell me the results and I hope to see them sort of thing, right? Anyway, it's just sort of, it's good that we've all got such diverse clients, because that really helps with the sort of people that you're talking to. And then even with Ben, you have 3 different types of questions, right, from 3 different people. You can almost start probably going, oh yeah, this lines up with a little bit to do with that person, or you know what I mean? You could sort of line up the questioning and the expectations maybe with people you've seen in the past. Would that be fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, cool. All right. I reckon we're just about almost. I'm going back to full. It's a in-person meeting this week. Adrian, what's your BNI looking like from this week?
Yeah, it's an in-person meeting as well. We're still transitioning over, so I think we've got the new president and stuff that's going to be trialing out this week. So we'll see how that goes.
Cool. And you've been in person virtually since you've started, Anthony.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much.
With this chapter.
So with this chapter, a few online, and now 3rd week in person, and now this week is a turnover of the presidents of everyone. Actually, some are still staying in their role, but yeah, that's new everything, and I'm a visitor host.
Oh, cool! Oh, good stuff. And Hannah was trying to explain that there was just a vibe, maybe a competitive vibe in my chapter that she wasn't sure of. What was your sense?
My sense was a selfish vibe. Oh. So the competitive vibe as well. You didn't have to, if you didn't explain anything to me, Steve, about what they were doing, it was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, right.
Or what was happening, I should say. But it was, it was one, put it this way, if you were to say, oh, can you join my chapter while I go join another one, I'd say no.
Fair enough. no, that's it. So again, fortunately, I think I'm probably the only one that's experiencing that at the moment. So that's the upside, right? But
I noticed though, Steve, some people, what you said, like when I subbed for you, there was this, the lady who did the presentation was in real estate.
Yeah.
But it wasn't and she's gone. So I did notice a couple people weren't there anymore.
They're not there. Yeah. I think she was actually. She was just. She was. I think she had another thing she had to go to. But we were light on with members. That's true. But Hannah, you enjoy Midas is just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, now that we've gone back in person, like I think the chapter's apparently the best it's ever been. So
that's great.
Yeah, so we got another new member. So I think it's definitely thrived on the being back in person as opposed to Zoom.
Cool. And Em, you're happy at Oasis?
Yeah, we're good.
I sometimes wonder with Em, it's almost like a mantra. Yeah, my chapter's good.
Yeah, they're fine. They're competitive with Aurora right now, so that's cool.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. And Ben, you're our best performing chapter.
Yeah, that's right.
I was saying everybody gets this, don't they, at the start of the month? No. Does everybody get this at the start of the month, which talks about all the different ones?
Yeah. Somewhere. Yeah, I've got mine in my Dropbox, I think. Actually, yeah, no, WA's got a Dropbox now.
Is it every chapter?
Yeah, it's got every chapter. And in actual fact, you know what, Emily? Yeah. BNI Oasis is now 37th. So in actual fact,
that's good.
Yours is the top performing chapter that we are in part of now. So at 37th, just because you've got 34 numbers, something went up by 10, I think. But anyway, where is it? Oh, no, 32 you've got. Anyway, so very good. That's not. I just had that from previous when I was talking to Adrian. All right, very good. Well, we've already sort of spoken about, but how good was this photo? Did you guys see this? Does that look like the guy that's not losing an axe throwing competition?
Yeah.
There's no way he's losing an axe throwing competition. No, he literally, that was just the cherry on top of the cake because you had an awesome week last week, Adrian. That was fantastic. Well done to you. I think we already clapped you last week on 2 projects on consecutive days, very different projects, and one an internal referral. So Dylan and Adrian are both in the chapter, so that's going to be awesome, I think. And then the other one was an external. Yeah, was Yoss, wasn't it?
I was going to say, and Dylan's going to be the new VP as well.
Oh, cool. So
chapter, yeah.
Right, and
good on him.
Yeah, so that's very, very cool. Now, I don't think we have any guests, so that's probably why that screen is blank. All right, so I just think if we could just continue on a notable client insight. If that's okay, I just think if we continue on that, I don't know if you need a moment to think about what that might be. I find that doesn't necessarily, as I said, it can be something that could be frustrating. My notable one this week is something that's sort of frustrating me a little bit, because just picking from one of your clients. By the way, reports won't be due till after Easter weekend, so let's not put them out till as in you can do them leading up to or during if you find that that's the way you want to do your time, but let's not put them out until that Easter weekend. And while I'm giving you a couple more seconds just on that, then I've also gone through and had a look at what the ad spend. There's very few of them I would charge that sort of, how we've got a 5 to 15% ad spend, particularly anybody that's come on in the last sort of 4 to 5 months. Most of them aren't spending anywhere near this. So all of a sudden, there's no point going and charging them, $23 or whatever they've spent as 10% of something. But ones that are more long-standing. So, Adrian, you've probably got some. Anthony, there might be 1 or 2 of yours. And ones like probably Lim Live and Out There Branding for You, Emily, we probably will. I think I would invoice them in April and or in October. So just once or twice a year, depending on what people are spending. So most, as Ben pointed out, most of our clients just spend $5, but some are spending considerably more. And those ones are the ones we just don't want to all of a sudden have spent a lot and then forget the fact that we do have a 5 to 15% charge on ad spend. That's all. And we try and give them a bit of warning around that, because otherwise I don't want them feeling like, oh, why are you charging me that? All right. So, hello, everybody. My name's Steve Hubbard, and I am your marketing graduate from Monash University, which I never say. I'm the certified practicing marketer and director here at Dify Social, and I've lived here in Footscray for more than a decade. My notable client insight, as I said, is one that I really do want to get to the bottom of, is with your property investing. I want to work out why they're not taking the action on his website, and it's probably over-servicing him. But at least I'm able to tell him this is how many hundreds of people are going through the website. This is how many people are seeing all the posts. So if they're not contacting you, you perhaps are leaving all your eggs in one basket. You perhaps need to look at some other things. But anyway, we do want to get to the bottom of that one. The big wins for the week. We actually had two really good chats with people that were interested from, I think, largely the website, maybe one referral from elsewhere. And I found it really useful now just to be showing the return on investment slides, not just Diffy's, but those clients. I think when I show those, people start to see it for themselves. And so that was largely my win, having prepared my my presentation. It meant I could share that with people that were interested. So this week I would really like to work with who did I say last week? What I'm really wanting to do is work with collaborators. So I'm gonna say I want to work with someone in the sort of search engine optimization area. Now over to you, Adrian.
Thanks, Steve. I am a marketing graduate from BU, and I'm your Diffy social media marketer here in Footscray. We have lived, worked, and played for a few months now. A notable client insight of mine would be Wendy, who we have our new ads up and running for an event that's coming up for her. And just looking at the results, she's getting quite a few link clicks back to the Eventbrite, which is good because they are selling out. So that's good news. My wins for the week would be the two new client setups I had, and I would really like to work with and for businesses, so copywriters. I'm looking to connect with copywriters to get them into my chapter. And up next is Anthony.
I'm a marketing graduate. My name's Anthony. I'm a marketing graduate from La Trobe University. I'm a Diffy social media marketer here in Epping, where I've lived, worked, and played for the last 5 years. A notable client insight is Mortgage Choice Williamstown. I had a one-to-one with them, and it was awesome. Good to meet a client, and they're very honest, which that's how I like relationships to be, because I'm able to do what they like. My wins for the week was I had a fair few one-to-one, so that was pretty good. And I'd like to be connected with, I'd like to work with and for businesses in the health and wellness, so like physios, osteos, and all that. And our chapter needs them. So yeah, up next is Emily.
You probably did a double win there, to be honest, Anthony. Don't put yourself under too much pressure. You already did the mortgage choice. That was awesome. Good stuff.
Good morning. My name is Emily. I'm the marketing graduate from Rutgers University, currently at Griffith. I am your social media marketer here in Holland Park, Brisbane, where I've lived, worked, and played for about a year. So I noticed that we have a post for Amongst that we've promoted that since September has reached almost 100,000 people. So that's exciting. I think that's a good sign. So hopefully she's happy about that. My win for the week, I actually also am going to say one-to-one. I had a good one-to-one with an architecture firm in our chapter. She was really interested about potentially moving forward in the future. She's currently sorting out some copywriting issues on her website. So I would like to work with and for a photographer. Up next is Hannah.
Thanks, Emily. My name's Hannah. I'm your marketing graduate from QUT, and I'm your Dify social media marketer here in Brisbane, Queensland, where I've lived, worked and played for 8 years. My notable client insight is getting in touch, being able to easily get in touch with clients. Awards Australia, they've had like a family dilemma, and they must have gone into their Hootsuite, so it's been very hard trying to contact them to get access to it. So I've had to post like from Facebook scheduler. So that's a bit of a hassle. So clearly contacting your clients so that, you know, they can help you help them. And my win for the week would be I had 2 great one-to-ones, one with the electrician in my chapter. She's really interested in marketing, social media marketing. It's just sort of getting her to, you know, actually have an audit and consult now. I would really like to work with and for businesses in the trades industry. So this week I'm looking to connect with electricians and plumbers, etc. Up next is Ben.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ben. I am your social media marketer here in Perth, Western Australia, where I've lived for the past 14 years. I'm your marketing, advertising, and PR graduate from ECU and currently studying marketing, applied digital marketing graduate certificate. Notable client inside, we had, I had a word with Denise, and I came up to her, I didn't see on this, I came up to her, I was like, oh, how did your event go? Because we were promoting her event for a $50 life spend. And she was like, Ben, it was shit. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And she was like, yeah, but I think it was because it was online, and she was charging like $240 something for it. And I was like, yeah, that might be it. So yeah, that was kind of unfortunate, but she's trying again. Take to Electric Boogaloo. She is going and trying to promote it in person this time. Wins for the week. Yeah, went to an event Friday night called Catch Ups and had quite a lot of interest through clients via that. So that was actually pretty good. And this week I'd still like to really work with and for clients who are proud of their work and love showing off their work and love taking photos of their work, but they just don't have time to post it on social media. Up next is Adrian asks.
That's a good one. I'm thinking as well, Hannah, is that electrician in your group? That's a female electrician. And I'm also reminded by Emily, when Emily, you met with the real estate lady, which the business escapes me off the top of my head. But she's wanting to just have female reps as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she only wants women.
And women are pretty good at promoting along those lines. So when you talk about trades, you might sort of say, look, I had a really good one-to-one with such and such who's a female tradie. And similarly, you could do this with the real estate side of things, Emily. So you could basically so I'd really like to speak to a female tradie this week, or other female trades, for instance. You know, you might bring it down to that. Unfortunately, we can't probably get away with it in the same way. It's not something you would say. The reality is that it's more often than not, it is working with the blokes, for me, 45 years and over. So those sort of guys that you worked with on Friday, Adrian, is my most likely type client, right? Is those sort of guys that have are coming from a long way back, right? But it's, I do say it, but particularly for, Emily and Hannah, that's probably a really good opportunity for you to sort of, say, where they have got that niche. So it's sort of just creating that niche, isn't it? So female trades, female this, female that, female business women, whatever it could be, right? Because, when they're niching, what do they say? Specific is terrific, and niching often wins. So cool. Adrian, I think I answered a few of those.
I think you did. Anthony, who was Emily's notable client insight?
With the architect, her one-to-one, it was great.
That was my win.
Yeah, that was the win for the week.
Oh, that was a win for the week. Oh.
That's okay. You were still listening.
Okay, well, we'll just do it that then. Okay.
Yeah.
What was Anthony's?
Good answer for a question that wasn't asked.
Okay.
I was like, okay, Hannah's this one, Emily was this one. Oh, I'm battling a migraine.
Yeah, okay, so let's go. Emily, what was Anthony's notable client insight?
He had a good one-to-one with mortgage choice, and they were honest with their expectations of him.
Yeah, that's right. I think it is. Is that right, Anthony?
Well, yeah, it's your segment.
Okay, let's go. Hannah, what was Ben's win for the week?
Ben's win for the week was his event on Friday night where he got to catch up with some potential new clients. Is that right?
Yes.
That's right. And let's go, Ben. Who was Hannah looking to connect with?
Other tradies. So electricians and plumbers.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so it's time to stretch.
All right, very good.
Is Emily going to help us with that, or does someone else have any stretch ideas?
One of these ones.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I could stay like that for ages.
It's only when you stretch that you realise how good it is to stretch.
Yes.
And how do we do a singing happy birthday for Emily photo?
Can we put emojis on here, like on our... Oh, see how you can do that?
Oh, true.
All right, so...
We'll have to do it at the same time.
It'll stay on for like 3 seconds. So make sure as soon as you press it, you're smiling.
And also you need to make sure it's not in front of your face, don't you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
I'm just...
Wait one sec.
All right, hang on a sec. I'll count down. All right. When I say go, everyone click it. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I might have missed it.
Still, you might
didn't
have had
have
a
one.
couple in there.
No, it's my birthday.
That's right.
Em needed a cake or something like that, just so that she could blow a candle.
I'm on a tablet.
You know what? My one and Hannah's one was fading a little bit, but we got everyone.
We're okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect.
All right. Just want to take a couple of minutes just to get a water or have a stretch, and we'll be back on in a second.
Yeah.
Off the speed.
Yep.